Yo, yo, yo. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the nature of depression, the nature of feeling like an existential agony or void or emptiness, sadness, grief, these kind of recurring feelings that many of us experience, right? And that can make life very difficult. And I want to speak about my experience with this and also my perspective of what causes this and what the solution is. So I've experienced depression, suicidal depression, deep agony, sadness, lonely grief, feelings of that nature throughout the course of my life as long as I can remember. I remember it really started happening more intensely after my father passed away when I was about 12, 13 years old, I believe. And I just remember not really processing through that, not really sharing my experience or feelings with people, but instead dissociating from it, just kind of going into a space of denial, acting like I was fine, never crying or never really dealing with the emotions or the grief, right? When we don't deal with these things as they come up, we repress them and they get subjugated into the unconscious or the subconscious. They don't really go anywhere. They're still present within you, but we just stuff them down, right? And over time, as we do this, it builds and builds and builds until your life just becomes so unbearable that oftentimes people will commit suicide in those types of situations because they feel as if they can't open up about their feelings. We live in this world and society that glorifies the surface of everything, right? Just everything, like the image, everything needs to look perfect. We always need to be happy and joyful, and we don't recognize the emotional layers and depths of what it truly means to be a human being, the spectrum of emotions that we all experience. It's like we cut off and deny half of the spectrum, and we glorify the other half of just positive. Everything's positive, but you walk around and what do most people look like? Do most people look like deeply happy and joyful and at peace? No, not in my experience. Most people look miserable, and I've experienced a large part of my life feeling the same way. And I've done everything in my power to elevate beyond this, but it's very fucking challenging. And especially in this society, it's like none of us really have time to be with ourselves and to process through things because we always need to be working and making money and doing things in order to just survive, right? In order to just eat and have a roof over our heads. And for me, there's been times where, I haven't had a job, haven't had money. I would go days without eating. I would sleep outside under bushes, things of this nature. And it's very difficult to really be happy and joyful and be positive about life when you can't even get your basic needs met. And we live in a society where it's a challenge just to get your basic needs met. And when we don't have like a close, tight-knit support group, like a tribe of people who we can really rely on and trust and have to support us, it can be unbearable, right? That's really the most important thing as a human, to just have a tribe or a network of people who you can really rely on for support and to be there for you. So all these things add up and just create a perfect storm of despair. And that's why a lot of people just opt out. And I don't blame them, because I know how challenging and just brutally difficult this life can be. But on the other side, there is a solution, and that would be to find this network of people and this tribe of support. Find people who you can really open up to. Find ways of processing through these things that have been repressed, right? to glorify both the positive and the negative, just the whole spectrum of human emotion and experiences, right? It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to be depressed, right? Like, let's drop the fakery. Let's drop the bullshit, you know? It's exhausting. It's really exhausting. And I think if we can all be real and authentic with each other in whatever space we're at and open up to each other and really have that trust and support, there's nothing we can't make it through, really, you know? And then just finding ways to get our needs met, finding connection, and of course get your basic needs met, like food, water, shelter, all that is super important as well. But really the most intrinsic need of the human being is that connection and that being able to be emotionally vulnerable and open up to people and have that love and support regardless of what space you're in. That's huge. And also finding that which lights you up in life, like your path of highest excitement, finding your purpose and your calling, doing whatever it takes to live that, to live your dream, you know? It's like you make the commitment that I'm gonna live my dream and my purpose, that which beckons me, calls me forward. I'm gonna live that, or I'm going to die trying, right? That's kind of the mentality. So you do whatever it takes to just live that as your life and find a way to support yourself in doing so. And it can be challenging, yes, but there's a way, you know. If God or the universe or spirit, whatever you want to call it, put a dream in your heart, you are meant to live that dream. There's nothing else that you're here for, you know. You are meant to live that desire. And another really powerful solution I've discovered is something that Eckhart Tolle talks about, which is the key to life really is to die before you die. So instead of committing suicide and taking your life in that regard, what if you could just surrender into death while you're still alive and just allow all that is false to fall away? Because none of this is ultimately real. This temporal self, it's not ultimately real. It is relatively. It deserves honor and respect and love and care, of course. But in the absolute, in the ultimate regard, it's not real. It's a fleeting, ephemeral illusion. So when you can recognize that and recognize the nature of reality and quote unquote die before you die, just surrender fully into death and emerge as just that space of presence and awareness, this pain and despair and agony dissolves in that field of awareness. So that's been a huge one for me. And yeah, just anything that you feel is anchoring you to these negative spaces or is holding you back, no matter what it is, just drop it and then do whatever it takes to live the life of your dreams. Because what else is there to do? You know? Take risks, take chances. Life is but a daring adventure or nothing, as Helen Keller said. So live that adventure of life and practice self-care and self-love, and, you know, do things for yourself that nurture you. Eat a really healthy diet. You know, cleanse, detoxify. Water fasting is powerful, it's huge. Fasting and meditation to just restart yourself, you know. Do some, if you're in that really deep space of depression and despair, do something that gives you a sense of rebirth, as if you're being reborn anew, right? So fasting and meditation is powerful for that. Maybe moving, going on a little vacation, go to a secluded place, go into a forest or something in the mountains, and just allow yourself to be reborn in this moment and start over. If your life isn't working, let yourself start over. It doesn't matter what age you are. If you're still here, there's hope, right? You can start over. You can live the life of your dreams. You can find that happiness and love and beautiful friendships and connection. There's a way. I'm working towards that now, so I'm right there with you guys. I love all of you, and there's a way. Stay in the flow, baby. Peace out, everyone.